Let's start back up at the top, shall we? I'm so sorry that there was no sound. Good evening. Welcome to Small Home Comforts. My name is Beth. I'm here in the book corner for our regular Thursday evening bookish chat. Tonight, I thought we would talk about September hopefuls that I'm hoping to read, as well as some recent book acquisitions. So, like I said, let me know if you are here. Let me know in the comments. Let's see. Okay, people are saying you can hear me now. I'm so sorry. My fault. I forgot to turn the microphone on. That was my bad. So, hello, Susan. I see you're here. Hello, Martha. Nice to see you. Teresa is here tonight. Welcome. I see Melissa here on Instagram. Hello, Melissa. Good to see you. Megan is here. Marilyn is here. You were thinking it was your phone. I'm so sorry. It was my fault. Um, I got into a zone here trying to get all the things ready, and I forgot to hit the right button. So on the replay, we'll cut that part off and pretend it never happened. Kelly is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Um, if you hear my dog crying in the background, I'm so sorry. He just got a new toy and it had a little squeaker in it. So I took it away from him because I can't watch him while I am here talking to you. And so now he's anxious to get it back. So if he cries, that's he'll settle down in a little bit. So welcome. Do we all have our tea? Are we all ready to settle in this evening? I'm drinking Earl Grey tonight. Just cozy comfort in a cup, right? I love Earl Grey, one of my favorite flavors. So Megan is here. She switched over to YouTube. Teresa is saying she can't hear me either. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Um, can everybody else hear me? I turned it on, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm just going to keep going. If you cannot hear me, let me know in the comments. But yeah, just taking, actually, my tea is still a little hot, so I'm going to wait to take a sip. All right, are we ready to settle in? Um, I recently got some books from Half Price Books, and I know I shared it on Instagram, but I haven't shared it on YouTube, so I thought I could show you tonight um, the titles that I got at Half Price Books. Um, Oh my goodness, I was so thrilled. So first off, I got, and I had to put it up here on my table so that you all could see. I know um, I shared a picture on my Instagram and a video, but I had to share with you guys here tonight, of course, on our chat because I was so thrilled to find this. They had this at the Half Price Books in their like collectibles section, and Anne of Avonlea is my favorite of the series, which perhaps is maybe a little a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people love, well, the first one, of course, a lot of people love. Anne of the Island. But Anne of Avonlea is one of my it is my favorite of the series. The reason being, I think it just has such a strong sense of place. She's finally kind of like settled into Avonlea. She's you know helping Marilla and making her own place at the school, and just just in it they're doing the Avis, so you get to kind of travel around Avonlea and see the scenery. Diana is still there, and she's friends with Gilbert now, and then Davy and Dora come, and it's just I just love it so much. She meets Miss Lavender, goes into Echo Lodge. Just such a strong sense of place. I love it. I love it so much. I thought I'd show you without the dust jacket. This is the kind of cloth bound cover. It's a Thrushwood book. And from what I can Google, it looks like it was published in 1937. I love that. I love that cover too. Susan is saying, I love the cover so much. Oh my gosh, I thought it was so gorgeous. It is in this plastic to kind of protect it because it's a little bit, you can see it's a little bit ripped and everything. But you guys, I was just so excited. I hugged the book after I got it. Is that embarrassing to admit? He said to my husband, "Can I hug it?" And he just looked at me and he was like, "Sure." So I did. I did. I just love it so much. So I am thrilled to be adding this to my shelf. Um, I just I just had to share that with you guys. So I'm going to put it up here so that we can all look at it throughout tonight. I found also a Georgette Heyer book. So as you know, um, I am reading through all of Georgette Heyer's mysteries this year. I was missing two books so far for the rest of the year, and the only Georgette Heyer they had happened to be one that I needed. So I got this one, Duplicate Death, which I think I would have to double check. I think this is the October title. So I'm going to save that one for next month. And in a little bit, I'll show you which one I'm reading this month. But this is the one I got from Half Price Books. I also got another Mrs. Pollifax. I'm actually going to hold on to this. So I'm getting, I don't know if you can see it here. No. I'm kind of getting all of these, the same editions. Um, and so I wanted one. They had another Mrs. Pollifax book, but I decided not to get it because it didn't look like the same kind of. Oh, I guess maybe that one's a little bit different anyway. Oh, well, at any rate, this is the one I wanted because it looked like it matched the set. It is not the next one in the series for me, so I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit until I can read through. I'm going to read them in. I don't think you necessarily have to read these in order, but I plan to. So I'm going to add that to my shelf for when I get to that Mrs. Pollifax book. And I found that one at Half Price Books too. And I found one more, but I am currently reading it. So I'm going to save it to the end for our currently reading ending tonight. So we'll save that one. All right. Melissa says she hugs books all the time. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me in that. I just, oh my goodness. I think one of the other books that I recently hugged within the past year was Susan Branch's, which I know Melissa you like too. Susan Branch's Martha's Vineyard, Isle of Dreams. Oh my goodness, it was such a good book. And I wrote that on a comment on social media somewhere, and Susan Branch saw it and commented back and said, "This is, like the best thing that you could say about having read my book." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Susan Branch saw that." So I had a little fangirl moment there as well. So, so much fun. So much fun to hug your books, right? Anybody else book huggers? All right. So let's move on to tonight. Tonight, I thought I'd share what I am hoping to read in September. It's kind of a short stack because I have the book box coming out. It's being sent out to subscribers October 1st. And so I'll be working a lot behind the scenes to kind of get that together, get that ready. If you are interested in that, sign up for the wait list on my website because I will be opening those for new subscribers in a couple weeks. So I'm making some extra slots in the subscription to open up to new people who would like to receive the box. It is going to be, I'm not going to open more slots for the winter box. So this is going to be the last time I'm opening new slots until next spring. So if you would like to get in on that, make sure you're on the wait list so you can know as soon as it opens. I am going to be doing the title reveal. To my email list on this weekend on Sunday morning when my email goes out. So you'll know the title of the book that's going to be coming in the fall box this Sunday if you're on my email list. And then on social media, I will announce it sometime later next week. But email list gets all the information, gets a first glance at everything. So you can sign up for my email list at smallhomecomforts.com. You'll hear all about the book box there. You get a weekly newsletter which just kind of tells you what's been going on at Small Home Comforts. I give you a link to this Bookish chat if you can't make it live. The things. So, but yeah, so I have a short stack this month because I'm going to be working so hard behind the scenes to get those boxes out to you. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Um, Melissa said, at first who thought you said you huffed it, which is also relatable. Books smell great. I hope you're laughing as hard as I am. Oh, that's so funny. Susan said she is a book hugger too, and Megan says on occasion as well. So Megan says she's looking forward to the to hearing the title. So you know it's a mystery. because we do mystery in the fall box here at Small Home Comforts. And also, I let this little hint drop to my subscribers during our chat for the summer box, like the wrap up chat, where we had a discussion. But I will give you also a little hint tonight. It's going to be the theme is going to be academia. So cozy mystery, academia. That's what's coming in your fall box. So sign up for the email to hear more. Okay, here we go. Without further ado. Okay, I already said without further ado, and I there was more ado. So moving on, moving on. Okay, first off, I showed you last week this one, so I'm not going to stop and talk much about it. It's Susan Branch, of course, her autumn book. I'm just going to be dipping in and out of that throughout the season for little snippets of autumn loveliness. So that was my first one. The other thing I wanted to show you, which I'm also going to be dipping in and out of, is not a book, but my Victoria magazine came. So I have the September, October edition. And look, it's a Jane Austen themed Victoria magazine for her 250th. Oh no, well, I thought it was for the 250th anniversary, but I guess it's for the 20th anniversary of the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. So anyway, I briefly flipped through it, but I haven't had a chance to kind of sit down. Um, I know some of you guys have this one too. A couple of you have reached out to talk to me about it. So, um, I also, oh my gosh, you guys, this is, we we are in good company, aren't we? I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. We are in such good company. Marilyn is right here with us. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Kelly is laughing too. Much ado, but not about. Do we have a good time here or what? Are we having a good day? This is awesome. So yes, Jane Austen, oh, so fun in the Victoria magazine. So that is the other thing I'm going to be dipping in and out of. Okay, the other one that we talked about, well, talked about it a little bit. So I probably have mentioned once or twice that I like to reread an Anne book in the autumn. And so every year I pick a different one. I think I've been doing this for maybe about 5 years. Um, and um, so sorry, my I just got distracted by my dog crying in the background. Um, the You know what? Really quick, guys, I'm so sorry to to do this, but oh, he's fine. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's making me frazzled that he's so sad. Okay. Anne of Windy Poplars. I'm just gonna keep move right on. Anne of Windy Poplars is my hopeful for this month. This was my original pick. So I did find this one more recently. And and oh my goodness, I was like, which one should I do? Should I change to Anne of Avonlea for my September read? Or should I stick with Anne of Windy Poplars? Should I read them both? So I am definitely going to read Anne of Windy Poplars because um, that was my original plan and thought. So I kind of was ready for Rebecca Dew and for Little Elizabeth and for like Anne's love letters, which I know we don't go like too in depth with, but just her like perception um, of her teaching. I'm gonna have to let him out. I'm so sorry to have to ask you this. Could you excuse me just for one moment? I'm so sorry, but he's going to continue to bother us, I think, until I let him out. So I will be right back. I'm so sorry about this. This is the thing about live video. I'll be right back. Thank you for being so kind to wait for me. I didn't want his cries to overpower what I was saying. So now we can get back to it. Thank you for your patience. So sorry. live video. This is how it goes. Megan says that she just got the Victoria magazine. Um, and it's her second issue, but she's enjoying it. The last issue was an Anne one, and that one was just amazing. Um, I thought that was so cool. So to have Anne and then Jane Austen, like two in a row, oh, it was just so lovely. It was so lovely. So I am so excited. What kind of dog do I have? He's a mix. He's between 60 and 70 pounds, and his mother was a blue healer lab mix. So I think he has a little bit of German Shepherd in him too. So um oh, you can't hear him. Okay, good, 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 good. Kelly says that she saw a thread on Reddit about the best autumn reads, and Anne of Green Gables is a popular seasonal delight. I can see why. I think Anne is perfect in the autumn, and like I said, this is the one that I was really kind of had my mind set on for this autumn. And so, you know what? I'm going to stick with it because I'm ready for a little Rebecca Dew in my life this autumn. So that is my Anne pick as well. So let's see, what do we have here? Martha is saying the current issue was lovely, wasn't it? So nice. We love Victoria around here. Right. Next on my pile of hopefuls, I chose a Miss Silver mystery. So I love to read mysteries in the fall, and Miss Silver is one of my favorites. You guys have heard me talk about her. This is actually the first in the series, and this one is a little bit less of a cozy mystery and more about a kind of um not suspense as much as what do you call it when it's kind of more an adventure? Like, you know how Agatha Christie has Tommy and Tuppence, and it's more of like an adventurous kind of a mystery versus a cozy mystery. So I do like this one. I like some others better, but I thought, you know what, maybe for fall, read this one since I have it on my shelves and I haven't read that one in a while. So, um, this one, I'll read you just a little synopsis on the back here. Charles Moray has come home to England to collect his inheritance. After 4 years wandering the jungles of India and South America, the hardy young man returns to the manor of his birth, where generations of Morays have lived and died. Strangely, he finds the house unlocked and sees a light on in one of its abandoned rooms. Eavesdropping, he learns of a conspiracy to commit a fearsome crime. Never one for the heroic, Charles' first instinct is to let the police settle it. But then he hears her voice. Margaret, his long lost love, is part of the gang. To unravel their diabolical plot, he contacts Miss Maud Silver, a one time governess who applies reason to solve crimes and face the dangers of London's underworld. And of course, Miss Silver comes to save the day with her knitting needles and her excellent knowledge of people and the way that they think. Um, so anyway, this is, like I said, the first of the Miss Silver mysteries, and there's always, of course, a little bit of a love story in each one of the Miss Silver mysteries as well, which is another reason to love them so much. Just so fun to read Miss Silver in the fall. And then let's see, what do we hear? Oh, I'm looking. Let me look. Let me come over and see what you got going in the comments here. Um, Melissa says her copy of Susan Branch's newly revised 30th anniversary summer book arrived in the mail today. She's looking forward to squeezing it in during the last weeks of the season. Oh, how lovely. I saw that Susan Branch was reprinting the summer book. So that's so lovely that it arrived. She started sending them out. Awesome, amazing. Oh, Megan and Martha are saying they want to go to PEI. Oh my goodness. Megan, I feel exactly the same way. The two places I want to go, Prince Edward Island and England. I mean, how fun would that be? Lori is here. Hello, Lori. Nice to see you. You've never read the Anne series. You're collecting them slowly. And once you have them all, you will dive in. You're going to love it, I think. They're just, they're books you hug, right? Books you hug. I'm gonna hug my book right now, you guys. They're wonderful. They're wonderful to read in order. Um, they're just filled with cozy details. They're filled with beautiful relationships. They're filled with imagination and a sense of wonder. Gorgeous, like nature scenes. Like there's one scene in Anne of Avonlea, this one here, where she and her friend Diana are walking through the. It's one of my favorite scenes where they're walking through an October forest, and Anne says, "Don't talk to me, Diana. I just need to drink it in." Oh my goodness. So it's so good. You are in for a treat, Lori. You are in for a treat. Marilyn says she's planning to read the first Miss Silver. It is very good. Like I said, not quite as cozy as the rest of them, but still pretty cozy. So they don't have to be read in order, but it's always fun to see where they started. Megan says she has not read any Miss Silver yet. You are in for a treat too. Miss Silver is just so lovely. Marilyn says she likes to read the series in order. Understand that there's a lot. That's how I feel about the Miss Pollifax or Mrs. Pollifax books. I kind of think that maybe they don't have to be read in order, but I still want to as well. Susan says there's a great twist at the end of Gray Mask. So Susan has read that one too. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, and in the same vein as that, I'm going to tell you about another mystery. So this is my Georgette Heyer mystery for September. I'm reading Penhallow. This one is considerably thicker and longer than the other ones, which is another reason that my stack is a little bit shorter this month than typical. But this is, I'm doing read through the year with Georgette. So this is my September read, and I'll read from the back for you on this one too. A family tyrant whose murder has shocking and far reaching consequences. Hated for his cruel and vicious nature, yet ruling his family with an iron hand from his sickbed, tyrannical patriarch Adam Penhallow is found murdered the day before his birthday. His entire family had assembled for his birthday celebration, and every one of them had the ways and means to commit the crime. As accusation and suspicion turn in one direction, then another, the claws and backstabbing come out, and no one is exempt from the coming implosion. So, you know what it reminds me of a little bit is this movie that I saw called Knives Out. I don't know if any of you have seen that one, which also takes place around a birthday as well. So, I have read this before, but it's been so long that I do not remember what happened or what's what. So we shall see. I will report back. As you know, I like to write a blog post every month as I go through the year with one author, and this year it was Georgette Heyer's Mystery. So you'll get a blog post from me at the end of the month for Penhallow, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's a little bit thicker this time. So. Um, I don't know. I love how these books are endorsed by Dorothy L. Sayers, who wrote the Lord Peter Wimsey mysteries. She says Miss Hare's characters and dialogue are an abiding delight to me. Isn't that lovely? I just think that that's so lovely, and I agree. It's always the characters and the dialogue in these books. The plots are good too, but it's the characters that really shine in all of these Georgette Heyer mystery books. And it's been kind of fun to see, through the years, like through the year as I've been reading, what are some of the similarities? What are some differences? I have been reading them in publication order, with the exception of Envious Casca, which is a Christmas themed one, which I transposed to December. So I think I'll be interested to see who the investigator is in this one, because we've had the same investigator for the past like 4 books, I think. And then the last book I just read, they changed investigators. So I'll be interested to see who the investigator is in this one, because I don't remember. So am I comparing the romance to her mystery series of Georgette Heyer? I haven't compared, so I haven't yeah, and Martha is saying the same thing. Be interested in if I like her romances or mysteries better. Um Let me think about it and get back to you guys. I'm not sure. I do really love her romances as well. The thing is that I tend towards cozy mysteries. I think that cozy mystery is just my preferred genre all around over romance. And so that's why I gravitate towards the mysteries. But her romances are so good too. I read one earlier this year. I think I did a blog post on it as well called The Corinthian, which was just amazing. Previously to The Corinthian, my favorite was The Reluctant Widow. It was about a woman who thought she was taking a job as like a governess and instead ended up having to marry a dying man at his bedside at the insistence of his cousin. And she agreed to do it and did so. And then he did pass away right there, and she inherited his whole estate, and there was a library in it. And so that I think was one of the main draws for me for The Reluctant Widow. And I'm totally off on a tangent right now, but The Reluctant Widow was a good one. And there is even, if you like Georgette Heyer's romances or The Reluctant Widow in particular, I found on YouTube a movie adaptation of it from, I believe it was produced in Britain, and I think it was like from the late 1940s. I can't remember exactly, but it was like a classic movie. And apparently Georgette Heyer wasn't really big on having her books um, adapted to a movie, and so it was the only one, I guess, that was ever made from the research that I did. Um, Minimal research that I did, and so I thought it was such an interesting thing to see. So that is on YouTube. I think the title of it is called The Reluctant Widow. And so yeah, that's out there in case anybody is interested. But Lori is saying she's only read romance and she loves that one. She loves the romances. So yes, I agree. I do love the romances. But Martha's asking which I like better. I do think that I have to go with the mysteries only because I am a mystery lover. So, but if you like romance better, you might like that. There's so much, I agree. There's so much humor in her romances. I was laughing so much when I read The Corinthian this year. It was like a screwball comedy, like an old fashioned screwball comedy. And it was so funny, so funny. Arabella. I think I've read Arabella. I'm trying to remember. Was that the one where she pretends that she's like an heiress or something? That one was good. And then Susan is saying the Masqueraders and Cotillion. So I believe I've read Cotillion. Masqueraders I have, and I haven't gotten to it. Should I? Should I get to this one before the end of the year? I need to add a couple of her romances this year, I think, because I'm doing all the mysteries, and it would be nice to. I did read the Corinthian earlier in February, but it would be nice to read it side by side. Look, and they're both green. Should I add that to my list? I don't know. I don't know because I've got so much work to do with the book box. I'm not sure I'll have time, but I'll consider it. I'm going to put it over here. So many good books, so little time, right? Melissa is saying Frederica is her favorite. I love this tangent that we're on, you guys. This is so good. I love it. Oh my goodness. So Susan is saying yes. Yes, I should add it. We shall see. We shall see. All right, that is the end of my pile, except for one. This one counts as my from the Half Price Books book haul. This one counts as my September hopeful pile. I'm gonna read it, and it also counts as my currently reading because I started September with this one. So I'm gonna share this one with you now. And if you guys would like to let me know in the comments what you're currently reading, and we can share titles. That would be lovely. I'm going to take a sip of tea and give you a chance to share your currently reading titles, and then I will share mine. It's cooled down enough. So, everybody drinking tea tonight with me? Okay, my currently reading is a Mary Stewart book called Touch Not the Cat. This is my first Mary Stuart book. I really wanted to, um, I really wanted to read a Mary Stuart. I keep hearing about her. I keep hearing good things. And I thought in the fall, I think it would be good to read. So the only thing I knew about Mary Stuart going in was that she does romantic suspense. Um, and that was it. I knew nothing about the title. I knew nothing about like any of the titles really. I went into it blind without even reading the back. So I'm about maybe about a third of the way through at this point, and I will have to get back to you as to whether I recommend it or not. I haven't read it all the way through yet, and there were a couple things. Um, that gave me a little bit of a reservation, so I need to get through the whole thing before I can tell you whether I recommend it or not. But I will, and I'll tell you why once I finish the whole thing. So that is my currently reading. I even have a little bookmark with cats on it because cat is in the so Martha sent this to me. Thank you so much, Martha, for that. The snail mail that you guys send is in your emails. Um, they just touch my heart so much. I love hearing from you all. Those of you who have taken the time to email me or to send me snail mail, um, I just love it. It just feels like such a gift of the heart. And I can't tell you tell you how much I really am touched by all of your kind words. I try to get back to you if I can. I'm still working on some of the snail mail. I sat down this morning to write back to some of you, but anyway, it's just such a delight to have these bookish conversations via email and via snail mail. So, all right, let's see what what's going on with your reading lives right now. So let me come over to the comments, see what you guys have going here. Susan says, she's reading Behold, Here's Poison by Georgette Heyer. Ooh, I read that one earlier this year. And Miss Claire Remembers by Miss Reed. Is that one of the later ones, Susan? I feel like I've heard the title, or is it one of the earlier ones? I remember loving the character of Miss Claire. She was just so lovely. So, ooh, those sound like good ones. Melissa's saying that she's rereading The Great Gatsby with a few friends this month, one of your favorites. I read that back long time ago. I read Great Gatsby. I always think of the movie with Robert Redford when I think of The Great Gatsby. Although I think there was a more recent one too with Leonardo DiCaprio, I want to say. I don't remember, but I always remember the Robert Redford one. So Kelly is reading the Courage to be Disliked, which sounds like a downer, but is actually pretty good so far. Not as fun as the book I mentioned last week, though. I'm trying to remember. You mentioned The Honeymooners or something last week. It was, I'm trying to remember what you said. So, The Courage to be Disliked. This one sounds like a nonfiction. Is it a nonfiction, Kelly? Martha says, just finished Lady Living Alone by Nora Lofts. It's part of the British Women's Library series. It sounds there's a whole read along going along on right now called Spinster September. I think it's on Instagram. Nora, I want to say at Pear Jelly, and September is a month for reading books about spinsters. So when it says, I don't know if this book is about spinsters or not, but Lady Living Alone kind of sounds like it. So Miss Silver would go well with a Spinster September. Ooh, I got to think about that. Or Rebecca Dew. What about Rebecca Dew and Anna Windy Poplars? That would go well with Spencer September. Oh, I got to think about this, you guys. Susan said she loved Touch Not the Cat. So I'm only like a third of the way in. So I have all sorts of suppositions, but so far, the mystery is not solved yet. So, I don't know your first name. I'm sorry, but RAF is listening to Emma M. Lyon, Volume 2. Ooh, fun. That's fun. I just finished all the Emma M. Lyon books this summer. We had such a good time reading those and talking about them afterwards. Lori is reading The Q for book club. Uh-huh. I was scared it wouldn't measure up to Emma M. Lyons. It is good so far. Oh, that's good to hear. I was wondering how it would measure up too. I looked for it to get it. I actually asked at Half Price Books if they had it, but they didn't have it. And I think my pile is big enough for now, so I better not add any more. But that one looks really good. The Q. Lovely. Teresa said she's reading A Song Flung Up to Heaven by Maya Angelou. That sounds like is it a poetry book or is it a I don't know if Maya Angelou wrote books or just poetry. Um so that sounds wonderful. And Much Ado About Nothing Shakespeare. I am seeing so much Shakespeare in the literature that I'm reading these days. Emma M. Lyon talked a lot about Shakespeare. Um, there's a lot of Shakespeare here in this Touch Not the Cat. That's been really cool to see as well. So, Megan is reading Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, and A Light in the Window, the Mitford series by Jan Karan, and listening to Shady Hollow by Juno Black. I have been wanting to read that Shady Hollow one. It looks so good. It looks so cozy, and I just have not had a chance to. I have not had a chance to read it yet, but it looks so good. So I've got to put that on my TBR. So Marilyn says she's also reading The Queue for Jen's read. The Man in the Queue by Josephine Tay. I have read that one. That one is a good one. And The Society of Unknowable Objects, and several others, including The Last Animal. Ooh, you got a lot going on, Marilyn. That sounds like your reading life is so robust, so lovely. You're also reading Crampton Hodnet. Oh, and that's for the Cozy Reader Book Club with Jen and Rebecca, right? I saw that title. And still working on Miss Reed Village School. Miss Reed is just so good this time of year. Kelly says that the one she is reading right now is nonfiction. And Teresa is talking about she says it's the sixth book. Let me go back, Teresa, so that I can say A Song Flung Up to Heaven. It's the sixth book in her autobiographical series. So that's by Maya Angelou. Cool. Teresa also says that she loves the Shady Hollow series. That one sounds so good. Barbara is over on Instagram and she says for Spinster September, she's rereading The Moving Finger, brought to her mind after reading Fear Stalks the Village. Lovely. And Barbara says, and Martha, I hope you liked Lady Living Alone, a recent favorite of hers. So it sounds like that is a good one. I'm going to have to write this one down. Oh, I don't. Do I have my pen? I do. I'm going to write it down. If two of you are reading Lady Living Alone, that sounds like it should be a good one. So, all right. Well, this has been lovely. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with me here in a my book corner. And yeah, this has been lovely. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining me. Like I said, you'll hear all the news on my newsletter on Sunday. So I do hope to see you there as well. And we'll be talking to you soon. All right. Good night, all. Thanks for coming.